if movie makers should stay in politics or out of politics. Movie makers should stay out of politics because these movies are being made for pure enjoyment and entertainment. There's no reason to mix politics into movies, especially with how politics are currently in the world. People watch movies to get away from the politics. Movies are supposed to be made up of imaginary things. We don't need to bring real life politics or real life problems into the entertainment business. According to Robert Skyer with the New York Times, who wrote Politics and Films in July of 1982, states, movies aren't meant to be about the real world. Forget about elections, politicians, strikes, working conditions, race, class, dictators, and foreign wars. People go to the movies to escape all of that and enjoy their time with their families. Daniel Malloy, who wrote Hollywood Filmmaking, gets political. In real time, written in December 17, 2017, states, political propaganda is as old as film itself, and Hollywood has been intertwined with politics from early days, but shifts into media distribution and buffering the genre, allowing for more real-time impact. Political propaganda has been around for so long, that's why it's so easy for movie makers to intertwine it in the movie. If someone wants an update on politics, they can simply just watch the news or read an article. That's where movie makers are getting confused. There should be a fine line. We don't need politics shoved down our throats when we are trying to enjoy a movie with our family, escaping the real world problems. Politics being shoved down our throats is just going to turn the viewer or customer off with too much politics in the movie. It's just going to kill the movie and block the actual message behind the movie. We are all trying to enjoy our time with our family. We don't need political stuff shoved down our throats.
Okay, so one of the main points I got was we're watching this for enjoyment. Like, it shouldn't be in like television or movies because we're watching this for like personal like joy or whatever. Okay, and then the other one I heard that was God, your second point. Oh, what was it?
That there should be a fine line. That propaganda has been around for so long. There should be a fine line.
Yeah, I was a little confused on the propaganda thing because yeah, I get it. It can be used like that, but I don't know. Okay, yeah, I just kind of wanted to find that if we're saying it should be like a line between what defines it as like movie or propaganda, or like a fine line between how much they put in,
How much they put in, how
whether or
much
not it's considered.
because if you put too much propaganda in,
So it's like a slippery slope. They're walking, yeah. Yeah, so there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. All right.
Yes.
Okay, give me a second to put that down. Okay, so I'm going to argue the opposite. Why filmmakers, TV makers, like anybody in that industry should be involved in this. And one, I find a lot of, I don't want to say, how do you wrap together TV and films into one? Just the film like industry as a whole. There's been a lot of works that they get a little bit political or maybe a lot, and it's still entertaining. Like television South Park, they just make fun of all the politics. There's been a lot of just subtle jabs here and there to current events in quite a few different movies, and it often gives me and a lot of other people a laugh. The Raindance Film Organization stated in November 2018 that following politics actually makes filmmakers better because keeping like the current events like involved in what you're making is a good way of keeping it up to date with the times and making people like know that this isn't something set like way in the past or whatever. It feels current and new. But that's just for the sake of the filmmakers. I'd say that one of the bigger reasons is for democracy itself. One of the things that makes it work and what Oxford University measures as like how successful a democracy is how many people are actually like actively partaking in it. And if people are encouraged by people with large followings, being actors, actresses, filmmakers. They it's been proven that it's a higher turnout if they do this. Just this past election, like we saw millions more than we have in the past, and everybody was complaining about how they saw way too many like movie stars and celebrities giving their 2 cents on it. But regardless of what you think of their opinion, it's getting people to think about it, and sometimes like do something physical with it, like going to the box office. So for that, I think the involvement is like beneficial to both parties. It makes them, like, some of the movies better if you do it right, and it helps the democracy. And about the propaganda, I'd say, I mean, I haven't really seen much that like really shouts to me that it's propaganda unless it's a heavily like politicized film. Like it's for politics. And I would say making a film about that isn't really the best. But when mixing it with like the movies that are coming out, just putting a decent amount in there is good. But I don't see a lot that makes what we see today similar to what most would consider propaganda. All right, yeah, this is all I got.
All right, so you feel that putting a light spin on things makes it better? If it's not as serious, it's a little bit more like funny, upbeat. It makes it better in movies for the political aspect.
I mean, it gets you thinking about it. Like, it's not always people like telling you like what you should do. Just putting something that makes you laugh at, like, just how many times have you laughed at a president or like a joke about politicians watching like South Park or Family Guy? Like, it's fun to laugh at it. It makes you think about it. Is the big thing.
So then you don't believe that politics in movies turn viewers off at all?
It's, if overdone, yes. If you go to watch like a comedy and the whole time it's just telling you about how bad, like, whether the DNC or GOP, just how bad like a political entity is, and it's like, okay, well, that's not what I wanted to watch. So it's, yeah, if
so
it
there
depends on what you're making the movie for.
Okay.
There should be something that defines like whether or not you should, or how much so you should be using this, because I mean, if you're making, it also depends on what, or like how involved in the politics it is. Like if you're just making fun of stuff, sure. If it's like just giving you political info, like that's a completely different story.
Would you say the genre of the movie plays a role in how much there should be and how much there shouldn't be?
Yes. Because that kind of like what genre it is, like depicts like what's going to happen in that movie. Like, I'm sure you could make a horror film political, but I'm not sure I want to see Joe Biden running at me with a chainsaw. So it's, I don't know. It either works or it doesn't, but a lot of cases it does. Whether if it's for a laugh or just making you think about things.
All right. So we're both okay. So you stated that having politics in movies would keep viewers up to date. But I feel that if they want to be up to date with what's currently going on or what the situation is, they can easily just go over to an article or watch the news. I don't think what's currently going on needs to be implemented into a movie, because I feel, especially with what's going on right now, with everything being closed, people would look forward to going to the movies and getting away from everything that's going on. So there should be a fine line, and it does depend on what type of movie, but I just feel that sucking in anything that's political into a movie is just going to turn off the viewer, because that's not what they're there for. If they wanted to know what's going on currently, they'd be sitting in front of their TV watching the news or reading an article. They're going to spend time with their families. They don't need to be, I feel that doesn't need to be shoved down their throats at the movie theater or in the movie business.
Okay. So it's a two-way street. It helps both for me, because you're not like putting the politics into the movie to like make the movie a source of information. It's making it feel up to date with current events, like the feeling of the movie. It's making it relatable in a way, like things that are going on in that or like something that the actual person can relate to. And it's not just for the movie itself. Like this helps filmmakers make plot lines. It helps people get like large amounts of citizens involved, even if it's not just doing stuff like people, you think about it in a different way. You're seeing it from a different angle, like often approaching things from outside the box, like in a weird way, like makes you come to a new realization. And obviously it's not there for politics, but you should leave the possibility open for them to put pieces here and there in. I don't think they should like completely steer away from the subject altogether. Like, you definitely can overdo it, but I don't think this is something that the film industry should like just completely ignore and avoid like it's the plague.
Summary. For simply overdoing it, that's the thing. There needs to be a fine line, but no one really knows how much is too much and what is not enough. Even if it's just putting reality into the viewer, how do you know that for that viewer that wasn't too much, or that wasn't too much of an impact while they're watching the movie, or they feel that they're getting it shoved down their throat? I just feel that in movies it should just be separate with real time or updating someone on what's going on. If they want to have a real moment, they would just watch the news and understand, oh wow, this is really going on. The news and the movies should just be separate. There shouldn't be a little intertwine between, oh well, we're making this movie, but we should sprinkle a little bit of this political information in there so they can, they know it's real time.
Was that
it? Yeah, but
it is?
We're at 12 minutes and 25 seconds. I was reading over the thing. It said it had to be 7, but that's up to you guys if you want to redo it or not. No,
we're fine. Isn't the judge supposed to put something in at the end?
Yes. So personally, I thought Zach had the more informational side. So that's where my vote lies. What about you, Anthony?
I think Zach had a lot more input to it. He made a lot of arguments that were very truthful, and it's very evident that he researched the topic really well. And I'm gonna go with him. Yeah.
All
right. Awesome.
I'm gonna end it now.
All right.
All right.